Hello and welcome to Stamping and Sipping with Tea. My name is Teresa, and in today's video I am going to show you how to use the dies that are part of the Flowering Tulips bundle. That bundle is currently available, let's see if I can get to the page, in the January to June 2022 mini catalog, and the bundle is on page, let me grab it, is right here on page 16. So you can actually just purchase the Flowering Tulips bundle, but if you feel so inclined, if you want to get the Flowering Fields suite, that Flowering Tulips bundle is a part of that suite. So if you don't have a Stampin' Up demonstrator, you might want to go ahead and find one and get in touch with them. I am going to be referencing this photo on page 16 quite a bit. I find it helps me to put together the dies. So let's just jump right in, put that off on the floor. The first thing you'll notice is you have these three dies, okay? And on the other side, there is a crease, this little line that will make a fold line. So there's that put on them. And you have these three different ones. These are to create the three different types of flowers. And again, they are pictured on page 16. So you make three different ones. This looks like the bud and then two variations of the, hopefully the glare is not too bad, of the tulips being open. Then you get one piece of this, just one of these. And you're gonna find that to recreate those pictures, I'm gonna put that right here. I'm going to keep looking at it. You're going to find that to recreate these two open ones, get it to where you can see it, you need two of these. So that's what I did, and we'll talk about that in a second. But then you get three of these center pieces, okay? Now for the flower we're creating today, I am using the polished pink. It's the new in colors, and I cut out all the outside of the flowers in the polished pink. And I went ahead and folded them on the fold lines. So there's one, there's two, I think it goes this way, and there's three, all right? I wanted to do something a little bit different, and I didn't have the right color paper, but I want three different colors to make my tulips. So just using a piece of white cardstock and my light polished pink stamping blend, I just, as you can see right here, I just filled it in, and then I cut out two of that. So I did have to do two. I wish this came with two pieces, but it doesn't. It only comes with the one. And then just using some leftover white cardstock, I was able to cut all three pieces out at one time. And there you have it. This is all that we need. So I'm just using the polished pink cardstock, some white cardstock, and a light polished pink Stampin' Blend. That's simple. Easy peasy. So again, I'm going to go ahead and put these up there. And this will go with these two. And that's the bud, and the bud needs one, and these need one, but they share that one. Does that make sense? I hope so. So let's go ahead and get started. Now I did find it was easiest the first couple of times I assembled these to use some Tombow glue. It gave you a little wiggle room. After you've done as many as I've done, it gets a lot easier. But for now, we're going to go ahead and do it with the Tombow. This piece right here, which is this one, so it was cut that way, and I folded it. This is actually upside down. It's supposed to go this way and that way, and that's going to create that beautiful bud. So all we need for the inside of the bud is a piece of white. So I'm going to just go ahead and put down some Tombow glue. And this, I think it goes this way with that part up. And I'm just using that photo as reference. It looks like a little piece of the pink will peek out from behind. See, it's nice to have that movability with the glue. So I'm just going to go ahead and let that set up for just a second. And then while that's, I think it's probably set. And then I'm going to go ahead and, based upon the picture, put a little bit of glue right along here. Not too much, because I am famous for using too much glue and then it seeps out. And then put some glue right here. Looks like a little bean, doesn't it? Got a little bit of a bean shape. Bring a little bit more glue over here too, because that'll all be covered up. And then I have my first tulip. So what I want to do is just grab one of these acrylic blocks and just rest that on here. So that tulip is done. That's the bud. Isn't that cute? Did I do that right, Teresa? Yes, I did do that right. Or no, I did it wrong. It's that one. See how easily you can get confused? All right, so that was this one. Now, let's grab this guy. And we're going to need one piece of the center in here. So for this guy, we do need 3 pieces. And this one will be that tulip right there, okay? That far right one. So again, I find it's easiest. Actually, there's a couple different ways. You can layer this up first, and it's probably a good idea to do that, just so you know. That would cover this, and then that. See, I think that's cute. So I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to apply the glue to the interior white part. Spread that glue around because I did put it on a little thick. I'm going to eyeball it where I think it should go based upon the picture. Okay? And I might go ahead and then put some glue on this back part. This to me is the heart one. Looks a lot like a heart, doesn't it? And then this offers some maneuverability because of that glue. I did have a little bit of glue seep out, but I think we'll be all right. And I want that to come down a little bit more. So when I closed it, that's hidden. So I have to slide that down even a little bit more. Okay, so that's doing quite well. Putting a little bit of glue right here on this inside, and then I can put a glue on this guy. And let's close him up. All right, and just give it a second. So that takes care of flower number 2. So that one's good and set. So let's put him under the acrylic block to set. Now this one, this is also 3 pieces. Remember, this one center piece we have to share. This one would be the flower over here on the far left side. And it goes like that. And again, what you might want to do is apply this piece to the center white portion of the flower. And these can be any color, and that is the beauty of this thing. You can really, and you'll see, because I'm going to share with you a bunch of cards I made. I'm going to show you all of these so you can get lots of ideas. It has been a lot of fun doing this. And then I'm going to put a piece right here. That should be plenty big to pick this up. No glue seeped through that one. And this does give me a second to kind of put this in place where I want it to be. And that's where I want this one to go. And then opening this guy up. Put a little bit of glue there. And then over here on this side, apply a little glue there. Okay, I'm just looking to see how far down I can go, and I can come a little further down there. Maybe give it a second. All right, and then let's put him under the acrylic block. Oh, a little glue seeped out. Look at that. Icky poo. Let me wipe that down. That's all right. The glue will dry clear. And then, see, it just doesn't take very long for that to dry. All right, so we have those pieces in place. Let me gather those up because I don't want to lose them, and I'll put them off to the side. Now for our card, we are using the pink, the polished pink. So what I did is I cut a piece of cardstock. So the overall size is 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, scored in half at 4 1/4. Then we're going to take a piece of white cardstock. Say it with me. It measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 because it comes in just 1/4 inch. And using our Stampin' Seal Plus, let me get that going. Apply that as close to the ends as you can. It creates a nice clean card. And that's the beauty of our handmade cards. You want to take the time because that's what makes them special. So you want to do your best when doing this. And go ahead and put that in. I am not going to put a sentiment in it. My #1 favorite sentiment is anything that's handwritten. I like it when it's handwritten and it's your own thoughts. We have a lot of wonderful sentiments that are part of the Stampin' Up sets, and I like to create cards. Sometimes they can be used for many different occasions. I make them ahead of time, and that leaves me the flexibility to use it how I want to use it. Does that make sense? Hope it does. Now for this, I do want to go ahead and apply my two pieces together. So let me walk you through those. This was just cut out of white cardstock using the largest rectangle from the Stitched So Sweetly set. Okay, you can contact your Stampin' Up demonstrator for that. This is another piece of cardstock. It's the same measurements, 4 by 5 1/4, but I did emboss this. Let me grab it, using the Parisian Flourish Embossing folder. I just thought that was really pretty. I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus. I'm not going to raise this, and you'll see why. It's tempting to put this up and elevate it with some Stamping Dimensionals, but I don't want to. I will show you what I will put on Stamping Dimensionals in just a minute. I'm going to eyeball this as best I can. Looking at it this way, I think that's pretty darn close. Now for a little bit of fun, I want to use a ribbon here that might add a punch or some impact. And believe it or not, I'm going to add some of this gorgeous black and white checked pattern. So let's just cut it a little bit longer. Here's another little trick. I've made a lot of this style card. This is my favorite style, by the way. I sometimes, don't tell on me, I'll just use Scotch tape. Sometimes I just use the Scotch tape to put it exactly where I want. I know. Especially on this embossed stuff. I mean, I'm going to apply it with the Tombow to my the card here, but sometimes I like to use just a little piece of Scotch tape. Somebody showed me this, and I thought, why didn't I think of it sooner? I will need this in a minute. Oh no, I didn't pre-tie a bow. Oh, I feel like I should apologize to you guys in advance. I am not the best bow tire, and I like to do those off camera. I'll do it off camera. The problem is this is a one-take shot. We don't do any editing. This is as live as it can be without being live. So, no, I don't go live, but I do record live. And by that I mean I hit the record button, and from start to finish, what you see is what you get. All right, paying attention to this, let's go ahead and apply this. The other beauty of this Tombow glue, yes, I do like the Stampin' Seal Plus, but I do find that the Tombow glue on these heavily embossed cards seems to work better. Now for this, I'm going to grab out my large block here, and I'm just going to put that under that for a second because we do have a little bit more talking to do. So put that over there. So now we have our 3 buds, our 3 flowers, 3 buds. And wrapping the glue off, I wanted to get the stems, so what I did is I took the longest of the stems dies and I cut out 3 long stems, and this is in Mossy Meadow, okay? And then what I wanted to do is, using my Mossy Meadow ink pad, I took the 2 leaves from the set and we're going to ink them up. I want 2 long ones. Let's ink this up really well. Probably not enough ink. Take your time when you're inking it up. That's why it's nice to test it sometimes too. That's what I would really shoot for. So let me do that again. Make it good. Because even though I won't take this to my die cut machine while we're filming, I can use this later. So since I have it out, I might as well do it. And I want one of the small ones. Okay, so I'm going to cut out 2 of the long ones and this single small one. Okay, and of course I've already done that because I like to save time. So here they go. Now, do you see what that Mossy Meadow, by stamping it in the Mossy Meadow on this soft seafoam green, did? It did the shading and stuff for us. Kind of the lazy person's way. I am going to use this as my reference because I like the way that that's laid out. So that's exactly what we're going to do here. So this is where we get to do a little bit of playing, and in my opinion, it's this small one that's sticking out about here. So let me get a glue dot. You know, when you put everything away, and you go to get it, you're like, I don't know where it is. That's way too big of a glue dot. I can see through it. That's way too small. And this one's just right. Say it with me, folks. That one's just right. Okay, so that's what I want. So I've got my glue dot on there and it's positioned the way I feel it is there. And I'm just going to go ahead and tuck that under because it appears to be in the background and it's almost like it's straight up at a little bit of an angle. See that? Then we have another large one headed off to the side and it appears to be going that way. So let's go ahead and grab another glue dot, just putting it on the center there. So far, so good. And yes, if you're not comfortable eyeballing this stuff, this might be a real problem for you, but don't let it be a problem. Just do it. It's fine. This one's on top of everything, so we're not going to do that one just yet. So what we are going to do is we're going to put some glue. This is the fun part. Put a little bit of glue, and I mean a little, and eventually the glue will come. And if you put too much like I just did, just pick it up and redistribute it a couple places, maybe in the center, and get a little down towards the end, okay? This one is going to be the one that feeds out right over top all of that, and I'm going to try to get it just where I want it. And I want it to kind of follow there, see? Perfect, right over top of that ribbon, right over top. I hope I'm in camera shot. Okay, that's perfectly fine. Now I look, let me make sure. Yeah, all right, I'm in camera shot. All right, then let's grab another one. I'm rubbing the glue off my fingers off screen. I probably should do that on screen because you're like, I get glue on my hands, but you never seem to get glue on your hands. Oh, yes, I do. Remember getting the glue on your hands at school, in elementary school? Just rub it off. The beauty of that glue. Okay, and then let's put some here. So again, very light amount. And again, I'm going to try to eyeball this one. I'm looking at their picture. Why not? They gave it to us. Use it. And it seems to be right about there. All right, let's press that down. And these stems going every which way, that's okay. If you ever picked some flowers, you know that'll happen. That's for sure. Let's put some glue on this last one. Again, keep light application, not what I just did there. Try to keep it as light as you can. I've seen some people with those really fine tips, and I don't know where they got them from. I've looked, but I haven't found them. If you know where to get those from, please leave that information for me in the comments. See, that's about equal. And I think I want to do it like that. Okay. And see how they're kind of crossing over here? They're brilliant. They knew exactly what they were doing. Now for this last leaf, let's get a glue dot. Pay attention to this one. Now this one seems to be more like that, and it's kind of going over everything. And I'm thinking that's probably like that for a reason. Boom. There we go. So far, so good. I'm happy with that. Excuse me, losing my voice. Stamping dimensionals. So now we're going to put this one in its place. And I'm going to use 2 stamping dimensionals. My pick tool, which is not going to be in the correct position. Oh, it is. Woo, I was going to say it never is. But this time it was. So let's put him there. See, that's what I'm raising up. I'm raising up the flowers. They're on stamping dimensionals. So I didn't want this to be raised up because I wanted the ribbon to go around it as well. Oops, I only need, this is probably overkill. 1 stamping dimensional usually would be enough, but if one's good, 2's better. All right, this guy, and you'll get a feel for where you think it should go. I feel like that. Okay, and this one's going to be a little bit more tilted, so let's put one there and one here. Pick tool, and let's put him more off to the side because that's kind of how they have it. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty? Now, if you really want a little bit of pink in there, for some reason I feel like it should have it. Let me just try to sneak some of that. Oh, is that the wrong color? No, that's light polished pink. And that'll dry much later, I'm sure. So We'll give that a second to dry. Then the other thing I think that makes these really pretty, because it's pink, and we're not done, Wink of Stella. I don't know. I hope this shows up on camera. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. I'm going to do both the light and the dark pink. Let me give that section right there a chance. Well, I'll just go right over it. I was going to say give it a chance to dry, and then my hand just went right over it anyway. That's okay. Grab a little right up there, because then you have that nice pop of shimmer. Now, for the leaves, I need to create a bow. Wish me luck. Just don't think about it, just tie the bow. The more I think about it, the worse my bows usually are. Just tie it. Just tie it. Just do it. Okay. Ooh, maybe that's the way to do it. Okay. Do you do that? Like as you get one side tightened, you make one side too small. Don't work on that side, Teresa. Put your thumb in there. This is the side you want. Because this I want puffy. That I want puffy. Yes. My little scissors. I think that'll be good. Because what we're going to do is we're going to try to tie it right there. Or there, where it would go. Isn't that cute? But I want to get rid of that. Do y'all ever look at that stuff and think, no, get rid of that? All right, the part I'm thinking about is this right here. I don't like that. I'd rather it be kind of hidden more. See, that doesn't make sense to me being down there. So, take a deep breath. Cut it. Boom, that I think looks better. All right, so I need a glue dot. Glue dot, glue dot, glue dot. There's a glue dot. That's a good size glue dot. Put it right there. Grab it. Get it on there. And then strategically place it to where nobody is the wiser of what I did. It's just between you and me that I did that. But there you go. What do you think? I don't know why I'm cleaning up you all watching, but I am. But there you go. Isn't that pretty? Yes, it does. It needs some, you're right. I hear you. I hear you. Okay, I want to put, ooh, let's put these guys on. The rhinestones. No, where are they? What did I just do with them? Hold on, I'm sorry. These guys, the rhinestones. Using our pick tool. And I want to put these, let's get the small ones. And I kind of think I want to put them here. And I kind of want to put one there. And then I'm going to stick a slightly bigger one here. That's good. Now you can put your gems wherever you want. And there's our finished card. Isn't that pretty? So now you know how easy it is just to assemble the tulip. And I did promise you I'd show you some others. So let's go through the ones where I made the tulips. This one was made using Mossy Meadow and Pear Pizzazz, and then Soft Seafoam Green. This one was made using some leftover card designer series paper, the Parisian one. This one, all right, I wanted to show you this one. Let's move this out of the way. These were all cut out in this white paper, and I went in with my stamping blends and I colored them myself. So all of these, every single piece of these petals, it was all white. All right, and then those are the ones I made with the dies. Then I want to show you the ones, oh no, there's one more, okay. Again, let's see, yep. These were cut out with white paper and I just used my stamping blends, okay. So white paper, stamping blends, designer series paper, and cardstock. But then look, I used the stamps, the double layer stamps. So these 3 pieces here created that tulip. Isn't that pretty? This was just taking advantage of that designer series paper, and I put the tag on it so it would move. And then the question of the day for you guys is this one. I really like this. I thought this would be perfect, sorry, but as a very quiet card. Sometimes there are quiet moments where you want to send a card to someone. But this is just stamping technique, and this is the Mossy Meadow. But do you know I used one color to achieve this effect? Looks like 2 different colors, doesn't it? It's not. Let me grab what it was. It's right here in front of me. Ta-da! Sahara Sand. Sahara Sand. So when I stamped this first piece, this piece here, I inked it up, stamped it off, and then I applied it. Then the second piece, oh, I'm sorry, these ones here, this one, inked it up, stamped it off, and applied the Sahara sand. Then I inked this one up with Sahara sand, and I did the full application. So isn't it amazing what we can do with that? So, and there you have it. Let's just make it to where the star of the show, the one we did together, is front and center. But there you go. That's just some of the versatility of the tulip bundle. And again, the flowering tulip bundles, it's in your mini catalog, the January to June 2022, so you still have plenty of time to get it. Contact your local Stampin' Up demonstrator, get in touch with them, and they'll make sure you get the catalog. If you enjoyed this, please give us a thumbs up. If you have not already subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We do appreciate it. And until the next time, and in the meantime, happy stamping.